Perfect. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my great pleasure to be here with you and this great lineup of Spanish startups. For me, it's a specific pleasure that I have because I've lived in Spain for 5 years before. So I'm really grateful to have such a great lineup of companies explore Switzerland and understand how relevant can be the Swiss market. I'm going to quickly introduce you to Venture Lab, which is the company I represent, and it's the company behind the organization of this program. So we have been around for 20 years now. We are doing several programs throughout the year to support the best Swiss startups, and we decided to scale also to Spain now. So we are supporting the Spanish delegation. As you can see here, we have different programs. So we support also startups with our funding foundation through VentureKick. We have our international roadshows through the Venture Leaders, where we bring Swiss companies overseas. And of course, we have our trainings with InnoSwiss as well to really support young entrepreneurs and young companies that want to scale up their businesses. As you can see here, Venture Lab is present in many different locations within our roadshow. So we go to Silicon Valley, to Boston, to Barcelona, to Munich, to London as well. We have done programs as well in China and Hong Kong and in South Africa. And right now, I'm really pleased to bring these companies to Switzerland. They will be spending 2 weeks here in the country. They came on Sunday. They will stay until next Friday to really understand how the ecosystem works, how the innovation hubs are working currently, and explore also business and funding opportunities. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Juan from Agrolinera, which will start with the first speech.
Okay.
Floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, let's talk about energy. Clean, profitable energy. How clean? This clean. Do you think this is a waste or is a resource? Actually, it's both. It's a source of renewable energy, but it's also a resource for the local communities that take care of our environment. It can be profitable and impactful, but only if we collect it in time. Otherwise, stinks, literally and financially. Hello, I'm Juan Gutiérrez. I am co-founder of Agrolinera, a startup in the north of Spain, in Asturias, where we share very important things with Switzerland. We share the traditional dairy farming and amazing natural landscapes. And what we do is we help bioenergy to help both of these things, while also keeping and improving the profitability of these biogas plants. There are 22 million dairy cows in Europe. Okay? With the manure they produce, we could power Switzerland twice over. But today, most of this potential is wasted, polluting our environment. Why is it so? Because after just 10 days of remaining in the farm pit, the manure loses up to 20% of its potential. And this is a problem. This is a problem because it's very in the dairy farming why this happens because this happens because nobody is able to take it profitably from the sparse small farms all the way to the biogas plants. Okay, and this leaves out of the options to the majority of the dairy sector because current solutions only apply to larger farms or don't really solve the problem. So for solving this, we need something radical but simple, which is data. Why? Because with data, we are able to solve the last mile problem in this logistics. We are able to keep the potential of this manure, and we are able to monetize the environmental benefits of this new process. This is what we mean. And how we do this? We use automated and sensorized equipment, which are connected to the cloud, and in the cloud, we record the waste transactions, we monitor these devices remotely, and we make sure that the logistics is efficient. Okay? And the implication of this is that this methane is released in the plant and not in the farm. That is, we get more energy with less emissions, or if you prefer, we get more profits for the farm, for the plant, and less impact. The equipment is adapted to the waste type and the farm size, and generally is installed in the farm pit or in the community. And with this, we get real-time certified data from the cloud. And we work with the farmers, who are the users, but our clients are the biogas plants. And we are also able to certify the environmental benefits through different monetization schemes. This is not theory. This is something that is already working in the north of Spain, in the National Park of Picos de Europa, where we are using it to collect cheese whey for the artisan dairies from the Picos de Europa. And the big market is on the manure, and the big impact is in the manure. And this farming is mostly in Europe and the United States, where the biogas sector is booming and dairies are striving for decarbonization. This is the team. We have a very complementary set of skills in engineering, but most than anything, we have international background and business skills. Okay, and this is important because we want to take this business global. And for this, we have been 3 years developing a prototype. Now the pilot is working, and we are ready to transform the way waste is managed in the traditional dairy farms. We expect to have a very fast growth as we scale from whey collection to manure collection. And the plan for this is as follows. We are now raising capital in the Q3 of this year, once we close our first initial sales. And with this money, basically, we're going to reinforce the team. We're going to develop the pipeline of product that we have already patented. And we plan to expand in Europe, starting with Switzerland. And this is what we are doing here. Basically, we are looking for clients in the biogas, biomethane, and dairy sectors. We are also looking for partnership from equipment manufacturers who can be our future channels here. And also, we are looking to talk with impact funds who are aligned with our missions, which is to enable bioenergy to support the rural communities and our environment. And thank you very much. We are here just to change rural problems into clean energy, and if you have questions about it, please talk to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Juan. If you want to connect with Juan, Juan will stay here until the end of the session. So let me quickly jump into the next one. I'm very pleased to bring Distinct, please.
Hello, my name is Luca Venza. I'm the CEO of Distinct. And Distinct is using nanoparticles to create encrypted product authentication and digital product passport solutions. So first of all, the bad news. Did you know that 1 out of every 20 products that you have in your house is fake, whether you realize it or not? Counterfeit goods are penetrating every single aspect of the value chain at a global scale, and the rate is increasing at an alarming rate. This is not just something that affects luxury brands, it affects all products. 47% of all brands have a counterfeit problem, and this represents 300 billion in lost revenue every year. The traditional solutions that we use to solve these problems are insufficient. QR codes are too easy to hack or replicate. Holograms are made out of readily available inks. And RFID tags are too easy to break, and they fail in industrial settings. So what we've done at Distinct, we're a university spin-out which applies patented nanoparticles which have unique optical properties. They change color under UV light. And this color change has been impossible until now. And this is a product that we've used now to create encrypted QR codes which can only be read by us and the proprietary AI that we've built. So what does this mean? This means for companies, we can guarantee that anything that our ink is printed on is real. And there's regulatory restrictions and requirements in Europe, which makes this very relevant. And I'll get to that in a second. So unfortunately, this is a PDF, not a PowerPoint. You can't see our cool effect. But what happens is when you print a QR code, under ultraviolet light, it fluoresces red. And with a high pulse of UV light, it changes color to yellow. That color change allows us to take a static QR code and make it dynamic. So instead of a picture, instead of an image, you have a video. And in that video, we can hide information over time by changing color. This allows us to encrypt QR codes basically to an infinite level of complexity by managing the time and space continuum in a short video. Now, we can apply this direct to products. We can print direct to garments. We can print on glass, plastic. We are a pigment. Anywhere you can put ink, we can be there. And then you download our app. We control the user profiles. So we know if you download the app, where you are, what you're scanning. So today you have a QR code with an open source technology to read it, right? But we close that source. So we know who's reading it, where they're reading it. And we create a closed loop of encryption. So there's new regulation in the green law, which requires all manufactured goods to have digital product passports. You have to demonstrate that you know where all your materials come from and what goes into your supply chain. So we're leveraging that to create this encrypted digital product passport. We bridge the physical to the digital. So we work with blockchain providers to create the digital product passports and then connect them to blockchain. So the market size for this is massive. You can call it product authentication if you want. You can call it digital product passports. But both markets are massive, and the DPP market is growing at a rate of 24%. Our business model is quite simple. We charge our customers a monthly fee to be active on our platform. So if you have a QR code and you want it to be scannable, you pay us every month. So the whole time that this product is in the supply chain, they're paying us. Secondary markets for resale platforms. So if you buy a Gucci purse and you want to resell it on Vestiaire Collective or The Real, again, you can scan it, authenticate it, and sell it again. And we can verify that it's real. So our business models go direct to brands, but we also leverage partnerships with key infrastructure players like blockchain providers. So here in Switzerland, working with Cardano blockchain as a physical encryption solution for their digital solutions. Also working with printing houses and label makers who already provide solutions, QR codes, for example, to their customers. We can make those encryptable. And then we sell direct to brands. Our strategy is to be the Intel inside of physical security. You'll never know that we're there. You download the Nike app, you scan the Nike product, but we're the ones that are actually verifying that it's real. We have a great founding team. My background is completely commercial. I've worked in various industries, including large corporations like BP. I've also worked in nonprofits for 10 years, and I've seen firsthand the harmful effects that counterfeit goods can have in sweatshops in various countries around the world. Alex did his master's PhD postdoc on our underlying technology. We have 1 patent. We're filing 2 new patents in the next 3 months. And then Agni has his MBA. He's a coder, worked in supply chain in Amazon for a number of years. So we are here primarily raising money, but also looking for customer contacts. We've raised already $250,000 of a $1 million investment round. We're having very, I would say, positive conversations with several investors, including key stakeholders in the industry. A blockchain company will be a likely first investor, as well as one of the largest auction houses in the world. So please come talk to me. If you're a customer, if you're an investor, happy to tell you more about what we're up to. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luca. Now I'm very pleased to bring Maria and tell us more about Planet iSpace, please. There you go.
Thank you. This is a recent news story. It is happening today in the Amazon rainforest. It's a very big problem we have because Amazon rainforest is our lungs, the lungs of the planet. Climate change causes drought, and the industrial activity causes water pollution. It's very important to find groundwater. My name is Maria Fernanda Gonzalez, and today I'm going to tell you how are we going to find this groundwater very quickly, very efficiently, in order to help 2.2 billion people that suffering water scarcity to have clean water. If we want to use traditional methods to detect this groundwater, it can take us like 1 million years. It's very inefficient, the way how we are doing this today. We have today more than 600 satellites observing the Earth, but we are not yet using this to do that, to find natural resources. And it's very important to use that technology because it's available. Planet AI Space is a brain. It's a brain for satellites that uses our own machine learning technology to detect resources, natural resources like groundwater. How we discover this groundwater? First, we use satellite information from active sensors and passive sensors. With that information, we construct our own algorithms, and then we predict the places and the probability to have groundwater. In the image, you have two, in the last image, in the right one, you have two images. The top one have real wells, and the second one have the predictability of our algorithms. It's very precise. And it's very important to calibrate these algorithms. And we calibrate, for example, in the Amazon rainforest with the indigenous communities. Our business model is very simple. It's for oil and gas companies, for energy companies, because it's very important that they know what kind of water they have around their industrial activities to protect the water. The impacts are many, because if we are able to detect this groundwater and to trace and to monitor the superficial water, we can care this important resource. We have very good competitors, but there are two important points that make us unique. The deep tech capabilities we have and the number of satellites we use. These 2 points are making that we be the best solution for the market. The market is very big, and we are growing. We want to generate revenue, big revenue. We want to be a big startup in 5 years. We are focused our solution in energy companies, oil and gas companies. This is our numbers. And in 2 years, we're going to begin to test the big quantum computers in order to calculate the entire planet, because this is the key element to solve, to achieve in this project. We are the founders. We come from science. Santiago comes from his PhD in solar astrophysics. Ivan is a PhD candidate in economy and law, and I'm PhD in quantum physics. And we have different experience in startups too in the past 15 years. During these years, we have won many prizes and grants and awards. The most important was 1 month ago from World Economic Forum, Uplink, in sustainability and quantum for sustainability. Our product roadmap consists of including more natural resources to discover. In this moment, we have 7 algorithms, different algorithms for air, water, and soil. And we want to implement the quantum algorithms to grow from the technological point of view. Act now to secure your company's future and protect your planet. Contact us today to discover how Quantum Aqua can transform your water management strategy, because water is the new gold. Thank you very much.
Maria, tell us more about Revivac, please.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. So let's start. What are doing brands well in sustainability? They use eco-friendly materials, they offset their carbon emissions, they really communicate very well, but they fail in circular economy because they do not design products for being recovered at the end of their life. Very few have take-back systems, and practically none can prove that they are really recovering. So they are in a really huge problem because they will be obliged to do this in very few time because of US legal framework. We knew about that 5 years ago. We were a small brand. We were manufacturing these cases. If you throw this away like this, you cannot recover it at all because the parts are assembled. But if you do like this, separate the plastic with the aluminum, you can crush the plastic and recover it, and you can renew the handle. So we ask our customers to take, to take back their old popsicles to us with a reward, and they did it for dozens, and 90% were buying again. So we had discovered something big. Circularity helps you sell more. And knowing this, we created the Revivac Circular Pass, that it is more than a digital product pass. It helps brands solve all these problems. And whenever a product has the Revivac Circular Pass, anyone can know first where a product is going to go at the end of their life, because brands have planned and find partners in advance. Helps also customers or users to take it back and buy again another new one. And you can know also where is it because of our traceability system. And even we can have origin certifies. So you can apply it for any kind of product, any vertical. From November, we've avoided 27 tons of waste with earphones for city tour, wetsuits, carpets in fire, even fishing nets. At the end, circular economy is connecting producers, donors, and recoverers. We are like the Tinder of the circular economy. We received grants for the next generation that allowed us to be here. We are very, very young, and we are expecting to have more, we hope. That allowed us to create this amazing team, very strong in IT and in a circular economy, with a strongly female representation, I have to say it, and we are really very proud of it. And we are partners of the Universitat Politècnica de Catalunya, that they are really amazing. Our business model is based on subscriptions and on support parts, and that allowed us to sell, really. And even we are scaling. And the only thing I have to say more is that Revivac, it is not just about circularity. It is about trust and transparency and benefits for the whole stakeholders in the circle. So my name is María José Pedragosa, and if you want to connect with me, just do it if you are interested in anything. Customers, investors, helpers, anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much. Now moving towards biotech, please, Adriel, tell us more about Uncharted.
Thank you so much. So, in a nutshell, proteins are the machinery of life. When they behave abnormally, they produce serious diseases, including Alzheimer's or cancer. Therefore, inhibiting their wrong behavior is at the core of drug design. If we were to plot a map with every single molecule ever synthesized to go after these dysfunctional proteins, it could look something like this. Those blue dots represent decades of research in drug discovery, and as you can see, they just represent just a tiny fraction of the total number of attainable molecules. Experts keep revisiting the same chemical domains when producing new drugs, while dismissing other promising regions that may offer great opportunities. Why? It is time-consuming, it is costly, and it is highly risky. So, to this end, to overcome these limitations, we have developed Uncharted, a generative AI molecular design engine that provides unconstrained access to the chemical space, while keeping the experts as a driving force to navigate the map of drug-like molecules. Once the faulty protein has been identified, oh, this is an image, okay, it was supposed to be a video, but once, once the faulty protein has been identified, the journey with it Uncharted happens in a very straightforward way. The user first indicates the design requirements for the drug, then the system navigates the chemical space to come up with the best possible set of candidate drugs, and in the end, the results can be sent to wet lab for validation and can be further refined within the tool. We are planning to deliver a solution to industry as a cloud-based software as a service. And we are approaching B2B customers as B2C by providing subscription plans that might be appealing for either single researchers or small groups of experts. For larger teams or more complex projects, we have an alternative model based on strategic partnerships. We strongly believe that this model will encourage the adoption of Uncharted by skipping the common barriers that are usual for big software packages like those offered by competitors. Of course, we know that AI-driven drug discovery has the hype around AI-driven drug discovery has skyrocketed nowadays, and there are several good players offering powerful and comprehensive solutions. However, after 3 years of research, we have broken down the problem and come up with our solution, which excels at finding novel molecules in the hidden chemical space. We have extremely simplified the user experience so that no technical users can use our tool. We have introduced the concept of robust design to increase the certainty while navigating the chemical space, minimizing risks. And finally, Uncharted's modularity has it always ready to be paired with the most recent state-of-the-art models. We are currently in a road to find our product market fit, and to this end, during last year, we ran an MVP with actual users, proving a 26% conversion out of the funnel, enabling a lot of product iteration. In fact, currently, we are running a small-scale experiment with one of our early users to validate some of the molecules generated with Uncharted. Our next milestones then are engaging 100 additional users, which in the end should lead us to validate our business model and pricing strategy. Uncharted is spinning out currently from Archimia Research Center, and what we are looking is to team up with an industry partner that help us run a large-scale experiment to validate our hit rate. This is the fraction of molecules that are generated with our tool that finally passes in vitro tests. We strongly believe that this is a mandatory requirement to achieve our product market fit. I am Adriel Sosa, CEO of Uncharted Therapeutics, and if you want to have a taste of our solution, you just need to scan the QR code in the screen and test it for free. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Adriel. Now moving towards Veracian, and we keep on the pharma sector. Emilio, tell us more about Veracian.
Thank you.
There you go. You can use this one.
Which one? Here. There you go. Well, my name is Emilio Gallego. I'm the CEO of Veracian Labs. At Veracian, we work to make the world a safer place. We have solutions to securely identify people in different sectors with our biometric, with our fingerprint, face, and iris biometric solutions. We are now targeting especially the pharma industry, where we help companies save time, reduce costs, and stay strictly compliant with regulations. Just replacing the use of passwords with our biometric solution. But to understand this and why the use of passwords causes so many problems to comply with regulations, let me introduce you to Hans. He works in a clean room of a pharma company, and he has to type login and password each time he accesses a system, maybe a bioreactor, a chromatograph, or whatever. And each time he has to make an electronic signature, again, types user and password again. This is around 100 times in a day, around 100 times in a day. What happens also is that the passwords are complex, following the company's policies, and also that they have to change them each from 1 to 3 months. A lot of things to remember if we also take into consideration that there might be, maybe Hans works with 15 different systems and only 3 or 4 of them share password. This means that Hans has to remember maybe 10, 12 different passwords for the different systems. A lot of remembering and a lot of forgetting, possibilities to forget. So what happens is that typing all that with gloves on touch screens, it's slow, it's frustrating, and of course, he makes mistakes. Hans makes mistakes, and it takes a lot of time, and sometimes even he doesn't remember the password, and the password gets blocked. At that time, what he does is he asks his colleague or her colleague to share his or her password. But this is strictly forbidden by the regulation. Sometimes he writes down his passwords in a sheet of paper, but he may forget it on a bench, which is again a security breach. There is problems with the identity of the different people, because everyone that does any task should be traceable, that this task has been done by this person, not by anyone else. Well, the fact is that he doesn't want to make fraud. So at the end, he says, okay, I will comply with regulation and do nothing. So this person cannot continue working until the passwords have been enabled. Meanwhile, another person has to do his work. There is an overload of work for the supervisor and for the IT team. So the pharma company has it difficult to comply with regulation. There is insecure access to the manufacturing systems, and of course, inconvenience for the employees and a loss of time and efficiency for the company. How do we solve that? Oh, that should be a video, yeah. How do we solve a GIF? How do we solve that? With our product, Verisial ID Pharma, we replace completely the use of passwords by our biometric solution. So in that case, Hans just has a look 1 second to an iris sensor, okay, even through glasses and protective goggles, and our system types, inputs all the passwords, so believe me, it happens. So just afterwards I can show you live, okay? So inputs automatically all the login and passwords in the systems across all platforms. Nothing else to remember, no more sticky notes, everything straightforward, and of course, completely compliance with regulations. We can also use that, we also use that to access the different rooms for physical access with identifying with iris biometrics. So there might be also other areas with an office setup, not clean rooms, where also face or fingerprint biometrics can be used. We integrate with any web and Windows software without the need of doing a single call line from the side of the manufacturers of this software, which is of high importance. Our software is completely qualified for the pharma industry. So we deploy the whole solution on premise. That means the license of our software, the sensors that we have, and the deployment and integration service. And there is we are now targeting especially India and Europe, where Switzerland plays a key role due to the high number of pharma companies here and the high quality standards. And in fact, our early adopters are those that have higher quality requirements. So we are looking for partners to share this business with companies that have pharma companies as clients and that would like to bring them more innovative solutions to solve their needs. Well, at the end, you see our friend Hans and the rest of the team are very happy because they have finally ditched all this password chaos, and they are saving the company money, time, and be strictly compliant with the regulation. Of course, I'm happy too, because I'm helping the pharma company. We are helping the pharma company to produce safer medicines. So thank you. I'm here for you whenever you need.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Emilio. And last but not least, Fernando, tell us more about WOZA Labs. There you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me well? Please imagine for a minute that the next time you grab your favorite brand of coffee and you're going to take a sip, you see that on the cup. I don't know if the brightness is enough, but for those that can see that, that's one of the phases of unsustainable sourcing. That's deforestation. And even though we cannot see it on a cup, we can see the scars on the planet. Now, not everything is lost. There are steps being taken to change course. For example, at the EU, there is a new regulation, EUDR, that basically forces companies to be more transparent. They now have to show where they are sourcing their materials from, and more importantly, they have to prove that those sources are not linked to deforestation processes. So companies now are struggling to go through these due diligence processes armed with just two formidable weapons, emails and color-coded Excels, which translates to processes that are too slow, too fragile, and results they need to export those products that arrive just too late. So we are here to change that. I'm Fernando Tadakuma, co-founder and CTO of Woza Labs, and one of our new products that's coming out of closed beta in the following weeks basically transforms a process that right now takes around 2 to 3 weeks and a bunch of emails into a process that all in all will take less than a minute. And it works just like this. First, the company will be able to drag and drop or draw the field boundaries of the fields they are sourcing their materials from. Then the system will basically geolocate that field, will show it on top of a map, and will show you with green and red color, which is quite simple to understand, if the materials that come from that field either comply or not with different regulations. In this case, we can see that it complies with EUDR, but does not comply with 2VSBS, which is a French voluntary norm, or EPA, which is the North American regulation. We can also double down and check why it doesn't comply with those. So here, the red pixels basically represent deforestation between 2008 and 2020, and we can get that thanks to our computer vision models. Also, these checks are available all around the globe already. And once it comes out to closed beta, the system will have other features that I'm not going to go into right now, but if you want to know about them, you can ask me later of this session. The important thing is that during the 6 months of the closed beta, we've already helped one of the second largest aggregator of commodities in the world check over 2 million hectares of land for sustainability. And that translated for us, that means that for us, our revenue has multiplied by 4 compared to the same period last year. Our core team is made up by former leaders of the tech and research teams of a successful agtech company. And if you want to know more about our product and how they can help your company either tackle challenges in sustainability, climate transition, or risk assessment, please just check out our webpage. Here's the QR code for our LinkedIn. My name is Fernando Tadakuma, as I said. You can search me up in LinkedIn, and I would be pleased to answer any questions you have. Thank you very much.
Well, that was the last presentation. Fernando, thank you very much. Thank you all very much for being here today, for listening to the presentations. Again, all these founders will be here throughout the next hour, so you can still connect with them. Really thankful also for the startups, for your work and for the passion that you have, and also for your efforts in doing your pitch in such a short time. And I'll see you around. Thank you very much. Here's your applause.